Okay, even though I'm not that good at this game, I have been enjoying it for the last couple of weeks, and as such I felt like ranking the Relic races from easiest to hardest, like which ones are easiest to get platinum in, which one is hardest to get platinum in, at least according to my own subjective opinion. Of course, this is different for everyone. I'm only gonna rank the adventure tracks because I have not gotten around to do the other tracks yet. I haven't done the Nitro card tracks or the bonus tracks, so I've only done the adventure tracks so far. The first one will be the easiest to get platinum in. The very last one of the video will be the hardest one to get platinum in for me. Alright, the easiest is Slide Coliseum. There's not much to be said about this one. The boxes are easy to find. You don't need to race well. In fact, you can race terrible and still get platinum. You just need to collect enough boxes and just go around the track. You don't even need to power slide or anything like that. You just need to drive around basically, and you'll probably get it. Right, next up is Turbo Track. The only thing that makes this harder than Slide Coliseum is the fact that the timer is a little bit tighter, and that you probably need to hit the speed pads in order to get platinum. Beyond that, it's very easy. Boxes are easy to find, easy to collect, so as long as you don't go too slow, you'll get this one. Tiger Temple. What makes this one easy is that the timer is very generous. Like, the boxes give you plenty of time to get there, and the boxes are not that hard to get. At the start there are a couple of jumps that you'll need to get right, but they're not that difficult, so yeah, an easy track as well. Crash Cove is probably the first Relic race most people do, and maybe that's why a lot of people probably think it's harder in their head than it actually was. When you go back and do this track again, you'll find that it's not that hard to get platinum on this one. You got plenty of time, you don't need all the boxes, and most of the boxes are quite easy to obtain. So a very straightforward track as well, nothing special. Tiny Arena. The only thing hard about this track is that it's quite long, so you need to stay focused throughout in order to get most of the boxes. The timer is not that tight, but you do need to collect most of the boxes to get there in time. For truly good players, the timer will be very easy, but for normal, regular people, yeah, you do need to collect most of the boxes, so you need to stay focused throughout the entire length of this track. So that's what makes this more difficult than Crash Cove, simply that it's longer. Dingo Canyon. There are a couple of hazards in Dingo Canyon, like you need to make sure you don't get hit by the dingo. There is one box that's fairly hidden, somewhat hidden, that you need to drive a bit slower for, otherwise you're easy to miss it. And there's one box near the waterfall that's a little bit more difficult, but to be honest, if you just line yourself up for it, you can easily get it. So it looks more difficult than it is. When you actually give it a go, it won't be that hard. Starting from Roost Tubes, it gets a bit harder to get platinum in the Relic race. There are a couple of jumps in which you need to get your timing right, or you're likely to miss the box. And you also need to get your power slides right in order to hit the boxes while maintaining speed. As long as you manage this, you'll be fine. Like, it's probably an easy track for truly good players, but for your average Joes, the difficulty becomes bigger from this point onwards. It's still not amongst the most difficult because you don't actually need all of the boxes, and timer gives you a little bit of leeway. Oxide Station. I think for people who are truly good at this game, this one's a very easy track to get platinum in, but for me it was not that easy. I needed all of the boxes to get the platinum award, because otherwise I could not get around the track fast enough. I needed those 10 extra seconds from the boxes to make it in time. So that's why it comes after Roost Tubes. It also has a couple of jumps after Turbo Pads in which you can easily miss a box. Like you can easily overshoot it or jump below it. So yeah, there were a couple of times I needed to redo this track because I missed a box. So that's why it's middle of the pack for me. Mystery Caves, probably one of the first tracks I had a bit of trouble with. There's like a couple of boxes that are 3 across, and if you miss one, you need to restart. There's this area at the start when you need to power slide, and it's easy to miss a couple of boxes. Then there's this area here, which you can usually miss one of those boxes because you have no proper view of where they are positioned. So you can easily miss a couple of boxes, making this one hard to obtain. Beyond that, it's the timer is a bit tighter than what came before, so you need to be fast enough as well. It's not super tight, but it's starting to get tighter timer. So yeah, the first one I had a bit of trouble with, and I needed to properly learn all of the placement of the boxes, all their positioning in order to get the boxes and get there in time. Coco Park. Initially this track gave me a bit of trouble because in order to obtain the Platinum Relic I needed to truly learn this track, like learn the placement of the boxes, learn which order I needed to get them while maintaining enough speed. Like once I figured that out, how to get the boxes in which order while maintaining speed, everything fell into place. But before that, it really took some time to figure out how to tackle this one. There's one other part that's a little bit difficult about this track, and that's like one jump. In order to make that jump and collect those 2 boxes, you need to get enough speed going, and once you have enough speed, line yourself up just right to get the 2 boxes at the same time, and you need to do that twice. But to be fair, once you learn how to do that, it's easy to repeat that. So once you get the knack of it, you won't have a hard time collecting them. It's just figuring out it initially. Polar Pass. If they had made the time limit on this one stricter, I would have put this one higher up on the list. But thankfully, the time limit is not that harsh on this one. So you don't actually need to collect all of the boxes to reach the time limit in order to obtain Platinum. There are a couple of spots I found difficult. There's one area where is a lot of speed pads right after each other, and it's very easy to fall into water there. There are 2 other places maybe other people will have trouble with, but I didn't find that hard. There's like 2 boxes on the sides on the bridges, and you can, I guess, easily drop off the ledge there as well, but I didn't find that one too hard. And right after that, there's like 2 boxes you need to jump over an area twice, but to be honest, I found that one to be quite easy as well, so I didn't have much trouble with those 2. The area in which I had trouble with was the final. There's like this big jump off from a speed pad at the end, and then you need to land right on top of a couple of boxes, and it's so easy to miss a couple of one of those. So yeah, that's the area I had most trouble with. Papu's Pyramids. I think this one is one that gives trouble the first time you do this one, and once you start to slowly but surely figure out the track, it gets easier and easier. Basically what you need to learn is the timing of the plants, and once you learn how you can get the boxes in what order so you do not get eaten by the plants, you'll be fine. Like once I figure out how to avoid getting eaten by the plants during the first lap for 2 boxes right underneath the plants, it became a whole lot easier. So once I figured that out, it was just a matter of getting all of the other boxes. The other boxes are not that hard. There are a couple of boxes at the start that you can easily jump over, so you need to be careful you do not jump too high there. There's like the boxes over the ledge that you need to make sure you get all of them, that you do not miss one. And that's about it, to be honest. You need to like slow down for a couple of boxes, align yourself right, but they're not that difficult in comparison to just not getting eaten by the plants. Like, as long as you figure out how to not get eaten by the plants, you'll be fine on this one. Dragon Mines. I had to switch my character for this one because I was doing all the other relic races with the speed racer, but I needed a balanced one in order to get one jump regularly at the end. But there are other tough spots before that. Like, first you need to follow a cart, and you need to not get squished. Then you need to jump over without getting off the track. Then you need to jump quickly enough in order to get all of the boxes there. And then there's that jump that I couldn't get on a regular basis with the speed character at the end there. So yeah, all in all, Dragon Mines was very difficult. Especially if you add in the fact that the time limit for me was quite tight, so not an easy one to do at all. Sewer Speedway, definitely one of the tougher relic races for me. Maybe because I never properly learned how to do this track. I never learned how to collect all of the boxes. I just found a way that works for me. It starts off with you getting the shortcut, which you do not always get consistently. At least I do not get them consistently. Like, if your jump is just a little bit off, you don't jump high enough. So, I mean, I've gotten to the point I've gotten it 2 out of 3 times, but still not every time. So a lot of wasted runs there. Aside from that, there are a lot of other tough spots as well. Like, you cannot get hit by them rollers because then your run is over because you do not make it in time. And there's other stuff like a box that you can easily miss because it's hidden behind a wall. There's boxes you can easily jump over, boxes you can easily get your timing of your jump wrong and miss it. So all in all, this one's a tough one, especially since you need to keep enough speed in order to reach the time limit. So I found this one to be rather difficult. After Sewer Speedway, we go to Blizzard Bluff. There are a couple of things that make Blizzard Bluff somewhat difficult. But the most difficult thing about it is one jump. But before we get there, you can easily like jump over these boxes as well. Jump over one of these or miss one of these. Then there are 2 boxes you can easily jump over here as well. But then comes the hard jump. And the jump itself is not that difficult once you get the hang of it. It's getting all 3 boxes at the same time. And you need to get them all 3, because if you miss one of them, then your race is basically over, because next 2 laps you cannot do that jump again because you need to take a different line in order to get other boxes. So you need to get those 3 boxes in order in one jump, or your race is basically over. At least it was for me. Maybe if you're faster than me, you can manage it, but that's what makes it hard. There's one other thing that I found difficult in Blizzard Bluff, and there's one box I kept forgetting about. It's like on the right side there, and then you need to jump to the left to get that box on the ice. So the ice is pretty slippery, so that part I found a bit difficult as well, just because I kept forgetting that box. With Air Skyway, we come to the podium spots of most difficult relic races for me. There are a couple of things difficult about this one, like the boxes are often 3 across, and if you miss one, you need to redo the race. You can jump over a couple of boxes, but the hardest part by far is this middle part here. Like, you need to get your timing right, jump on the right position, get the right boxes. If your boost there does not last long enough, you can easily miss that box, or if it lasts long enough and you jump by accident, you jump over that box. So it's not always easy to figure that timing out. And by the time you come there again, like if you come there a second time, you go to the left, you also need to figure out how to quickly get that second box. Like, it needs to become muscle memory to quickly jump to the right here in order to get that box, and then you need to like get some enough speeds to get that box, because if you do not get are fast enough, you cannot jump far enough to get that one. And third time around that you go there will probably be the easiest of the three, but you still need to get it right. Like, you still need to make sure you jump right on top of it and get all of the boxes. Once you get past the middle parts, it's basically easier, but that stuff makes it hard. N.Gin Labs. For me, the second most difficult of all the Relic races in order to get Platinum. What makes it so hard is the time limit. Like, and maybe that's of how I found a way for myself in order to obtain it. Like, I immediately reverse. And that reversing actually took some time to learn how to do it properly in order to get it fast enough, all of these boxes. And once I collect all of these boxes, I start driving around the track. The actual boxes on the track, I did not have that much difficulty with. There's this one box I sometimes failed at, like I overshot it, this one here, if I did not jump fast enough. But aside from that, most of the boxes are not that difficult to obtain, in my opinion. It's just that you need to go around the track really fast, and I think, yeah, again, this is for truly good players. This one is not a hard one, but for average Joes like me, this one is kind of hard just because of the time limits. Of course, you cannot get squished here as well. If you get squished, your run's more or less over as well. This one is, you need to like weave enough so you can like get all the boxes there. But this one you can easily overshoot as well. You can easily miss one of them. So beyond that is basically just driving around the track fast enough and collecting all the boxes. It's not that hard to get the boxes, it's just getting fast enough around the track. So yeah, because I finished, I think, this one a couple of times, 2 or 3 seconds too slow. So I basically need to get fast enough in order to obtain the platinum on this one. Cortex Castle, the most difficult of the bunch to me. And that's because there are several difficult areas, and if you fail at even one, then you basically need to restart the race. Now, the first area I had some problems with is actually right here at the start. You have like 3 boxes in a row, and you can easily miss one, like overshoot it or go underneath it. So if you miss the timing of your jump, you miss one of them and you need to restart. Then there's this one. You can easily miss this box. Thankfully, you have 2 attempts at it, but you can definitely easily miss that one. Here you need to slow down against the wall, so you can easily collect them boxes, or you can fall into a ravine if you're not careful. It's not that hard, but you still need to learn how to slow down enough. Now, that box right there was actually the most difficult of them all for me. The amount of times I need to restart this track because of that box is quite mind-boggling. Like, I quite often just went not high enough. Like, I did not jump high enough to get it. I don't know why. Maybe it's a game mechanic or something, but yeah, I had trouble jumping high enough to get that box. There's this one area here that I found difficult as well, and that's getting that box here on the left, then landing right on this one. I quite easily missed that box on the ground there, because it's very hard to see where exactly you need to land, and if you miss it, then your run is over and you need to restart as well. So yeah, thankfully in that first lap you can mostly collect all of the truly difficult boxes. The rest is just getting fast enough and getting there in time. There's also the shortcut left, but I think that one's actually optional. I do not think you actually need to take the shortcut to be fast enough in order to get platinum. But maybe people who are not used to taking that shortcut might have difficulty with it. For me personally, I did not find taking that shortcut a hard one. I think it's an easy shortcut to take. You just need to position your card right. But yeah, definitely the hardest track for me.